Hey everyone, I thought I'd start the video by reading you my dream journal. May 22nd, 2025. A dream I had. Last night I had a dream. In this dream, it was late at night and what looked to be a college campus. At this campus, there was many people walking around. This dream played out in the first person, where I was walking around. I remember I was curious about this campus and wanted to explore various parts of the establishment. The campus was well lit. There was a whole lot of escalators that went up. I specifically remember there was an escalator that was big enough to hold 2 people on either side, and then immediately right after there was an escalator that could only hold 1 person at a time, and this escalator moved much faster. Wow. I remember when going on that escalator, I accidentally bumped into the lady that went up before me. I said sorry. She said that's all right, that we both went our separate ways. I remember what looked to be a football field in the top bleachers, but this field was much smaller and circular shaped, with what looked to me to be a net covered in a mat in the middle of this circular field. Where this net led looked to be an underground gymnasium, right beneath the field. Interesting. Very strange. I remember bumping into coworkers who were dressed up in fancy suits, talking to each other as they were walking. They seemed like they were in a deep conversation, so I let them be. The end of the dream, I remember looking up on a balcony down at the front of the college, and I remember seeing a movie theater in the distance. Pretty interesting. I shared this dream with a family friend soon after waking up. My mom was at work, so I wasn't able to share it with her immediately. But that was mostly because I didn't remember the dream until after she left. But yeah, I told her about it. And yeah, she thought it was like me at a crossroads trying to decide what to do with my life. So I thought that was a pretty interesting observation. Well, let's move on to things chewing at my brain. I would like to do some household chores, like cleaning the dishes and vacuuming the floor. I actually did the vacuuming the floor part. Our family friend did the cleaning dishes part. I would like to find the bag my shorts came in so I can send them back to Amazon and get a larger pair. I did not do that. I would like to deal with the whole AAA card debacle because I signed my AAA with a family member, but they're going through a financially tough situation right now, so I'm thinking it would be better if I just cut that off from my card so I don't get any trouble. But I talked with my mom about it, and she told me that apparently they just don't hold any penalties to you. They just throw the card in the garbage and have you sign up for a new card if you want one. So that's good to know. I would like to get work done on my alien abduction video. I actually did do that. I didn't add any sound effects to the footage I already have. I actually tried adding more footage to it by creating footage using ChatGPT's O4 image generation software and Kling AI. But the results were fairly unsatisfactory to me. And the reason why is because I wanted to use Kling 2.0's video generation technology in conjunction with the images that ChatGPT was generating. The problem with that, though, was that every time, even though I gave very specific instructions to Kling on what I wanted it to do with the frame, and the thing with Kling 2.0 is it's not like Kling 1.6 where it lets you have a start frame and an end frame, so there's a clear direction of where the story's going. It only allows you to do one frame, and then you have to send in your detailed instructions, and it does its best to interpret what you want based on your instructions. And the problem is that Kling did not produce results that were satisfactory to me. So it made me realize I probably need to draw another storyboard, feed it into OpenAI's O4 image software, have it generate an end frame that is satisfactory to my vision, and then I can use the 1.6 image generation technology to get the result that I am looking for. So there's that. No sound was done today, but there was progress made on new footage. Mostly because I already spent money on ChatGPT and Kling, so I want to get good use out of those before my subscription runs out. And also, there was more to the story than what I left off on, so I might as well use it for that purpose as well. Alright, anyways, we're moving on. I would like to read a book that will nurture my mind. Unless you count doom-scrolling articles as books, I would say no. And those doom-scrolling articles were basically just how AI is replacing the entry-level white-collar jobs, and people who used to be able to get a job fairly easily after stepping out with their college degree. A lot of the people who would have performed those desk jockey jobs now have to find work elsewhere. So I think maybe it would be a good idea if people who are going to college to find jobs that absolutely require that human connection that you simply can't get anywhere else. And a good example is one of my coworkers is ending their stay at the job that they've had at the place I work at by the end of the month. I think it's this Friday, and they chose to work with orphan kids and helping them psychologically by being like a counselor, I believe, or a therapist, something in that realm. And so, yeah, I feel like if people want to get decent work fresh out of college, and they don't want to worry about robots taking over their livelihood, then they should probably pursue a career where having that essential human touch is absolutely necessary, like being a counselor to like orphan kids or things like that, because I don't think kids will be able to relate to a robot. So you just have to be smarter about what you choose to pursue if you choose to get a college degree now, because there are certain positions that are being made irrelevant thanks to artificial intelligence. And the sad thing is it's not even there yet. It's just to a point where it's competent enough to do a okay job, but not so great to where it's doing like an outstanding job. So you're taking people who would have had the entry-level jobs, who would have accepted the lower pay for the experience, and then slowly climb their way up the ladder of their career with a robot instead. And those people just wasted thousands of dollars on a piece of paper that they now have that doesn't really get them the job that they're searching for. So that's basically to say, if you're currently looking to get into college right now, just really pay attention to what will still be relevant in the next 10 to 20 years thanks to the rise of artificial intelligence in businesses. Moving on, let us go back. I kind of got off on a tangent there. I would like to limit my screen time today by only 2 hours unless I'm using screens for personal projects. I failed at this. I was on my phone all day today. It's honestly kind of embarrassing, if I'm being honest. I just spent most of my time cross-referencing conspiracy theories about alleged UFO stories like MJ12, which is like apparently a set of documents that supposedly linked the Roswell crash with a elite group of 12 men that were brought together by like President Truman, I think, who was letting Dwight D. Eisenhower know about all this before handing the reins to him. And the thing was, like, in the book, it specifically says that in the Roswell crash, the 4 beings that were found were all dead, but there's another book that supposedly says that there was a being that survived that was interviewed by a nurse, called Alien Interview, and that's where my brain immediately went, because I was like, listen to that whole book, and I thought a lot of what that book had to say was really interesting and made a lot of like interesting points, but because this MJ12 document said that all the beings were found dead, it contradicts that Alien Interview book, which apparently was supposedly put together by a guy who got these notes from a former Marine nurse from the 1940s, right before she died. So one of them is lying. One of them's a disinformation act, or they're both bogus. I don't know. I was trying to make sense of that, and I got into an insane conspiracy rabbit hole. Needless to say, in terms of story, I like Alien Interview more. In terms of facts, they're both interesting and, well, unique stories, but I don't know if I would want to put a stake in either of them being true. I see them more as like, that might be interesting, but unless there's any hard evidence to prove that any of it is legit, I'm gonna not put any stock on any of these being true. They make for entertaining podcast listenings, that's for sure. Anyways, I would like to enjoy the present instead of worrying about the future or the past. I guess I kind of did today. I mean, well, with all my silly research into fringe topics. I would like to draw to improve my illustration skills. No, I didn't really do that. I mean, I tried, but I didn't. So really, no. I got on my Infinite Painter app. I just doodle a little, and that's about all there is to say. I would like to go for a walk. Yes, I did do that, so hey, there you go. I like to meditate. I did do that, so hey, another win. I would like to be more mindful. I suppose meditation is a form of mindfulness, so yes. I would like to attempt to adapt the dream I had. I mean, in a way I kind of have by reading it to you guys, but I don't know. Let me know if you want to see like a visual representation of what I saw in my dream with like what I could remember through sketches. If you're interested in that with a little narration on the side, then I'll put something together. I would like to work on the Infinite Jest video series I plan on doing. I did mention that a few days ago. I want to make a series where I read through each chapter of the book Infinite Jest, and then I try to like review each chapter and then have illustrations illustrating what goes on in the story and then saying my thoughts on it. The problem with that is like I need to find the time, energy, and just schedule out, and even if I can only do like half an hour worth of work each day on a project like that, something like that's better than nothing, and I think it would really improve my critical thinking and just help me really enjoy appreciating stories more, I suppose. I would like to have a calm mind. I'd say it's calm when I set in that mindset. I like to eat something good. I'd say I ate something fairly good. For breakfast, I had 3 Eggo waffles fluffy edition with butter and syrup, and that was good. For lunch, I had our family friend got the pretzel pizza from Little Caesars, and at first it was good, but my stomach was in real pain after like it reached the bottom. Like there was something in that pizza my body didn't agree with. So I think today might be my last day ever eating that pizza. The weird thing was I didn't really have that experience last time I had a pizza like that, but for some reason it happened today and I don't want to ever face that again. So maybe it's my body's trying to tell me to stop eating junk food. So yeah. And then for dinner, I had a spaghetti meatballs classic meal. So yeah, pretty good. Pretty good. Mm. Oh yeah, and then I had some dried mangoes as snacks, and store-bought cookie, which, you know, they have hydrogenated oils. They don't taste very fresh, but they're quick and convenient. But is that really good for health? No, I don't think so. I would like to avoid distractions until I do at least 3 things on this list today. I did. I mean, I meditated. I vacuumed. I worked a bit on my alien project, so I guess I did do 3 things that kind of helped me out today, so had something to be grateful for, right? And my overall thoughts of the day were that it was extremely relaxed, it was extremely peaceful, and I'd say it was fairly enjoyable. Yeah. Way too many YouTube videos, though. I have a really bad addiction to my phone. It can simultaneously be used as a strong tool or as a force of time wasting. It's up to me to decide, isn't it? Well, alright. Anyways, that will have to do it for now. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye, everybody.